Hi everybody, I'm back with another instructional video to try to help people figure out how to best use Zoom. So if you take a look at the bottom of my screen, today we're going to talk about how to launch a video and to record yourself teaching, which I anticipate a lot of people will be using this platform for. So first things first, now that Zoom has been installed on my computer, I'm going to click the blue icon. If for some reason you do not see this blue icon pop up and you have an Apple computer, you can go to Finder, Applications, and scroll down to find Zoom.us and double click. So now I'm in my Zoom application and I want to launch a meeting. Um, since I want to record myself, it doesn't really matter when you start a new meeting if it's your personal meeting ID, but I recommend setting it to this so that your students have access to you at all times. So I'm just going to make sure my personal meeting ID box is checked and that I select start with video. And I click the orange button. It'll prompt me to join with computer audio, which I'll do. As you can see, my video's on, so my students would be able to see me. Cool. So I'll use this green circle to make it full screen, and I'm all set. To start recording, all you have to do is click the record button. It will have you pause or stop your recording. I think you should leave it going the whole time, depending on what you're prepared to say. So from this point, there are some really cool ways you can share things to go along with your lesson aside from your face just talking. So, for example, the bottom button says share screen, and I'm prompted with multiple options here. The whiteboard option is exactly what it sounds like. You'll have a blank screen. So let's explore that first. Okay, so here's my whiteboard. And my students would see this if I were on a call with them, or obviously they'd see it for my recording. There's some really cool things you can do. You can add text. Hello, YouTube. You can draw. Okay, you can either draw shapes. You can try to actually write text, which is a little more challenging. Hello. Like this, okay? This black toolbar comes up with a lot of options for you. So I think the best is to play around. If I have a question about something, I could put question marks everywhere. There are some pretty cool choices. You can obviously change the color of all these things, the font size, or you could clear everything all at once, which I'm going to do. Okay, so how could you possibly use this? Well, I think there are some easy applications for math. You could have students do a math problem and solve with you live. Okay, so that's one application. I also think that you could use it like this. I know many times when I'm in class, I want students to brainstorm. So we can actually map a thought web here together, which is something I tried with a student on a previous call. We were talking about problems that scientists encounter on Mars. So I put my Mars in the middle, and I can actually draw, similar to how I'd be drawing on the board, to have different branches off of my thought web. So if you teach social studies, language arts, science, and you want students to either plan out their own projects or you want to demonstrate how to do this, I think this is a really cool option. So I'm going to click stop share and show you some of the other screen sharing options that you have. So I clicked end screen to get out of that window. So I'll go back to share screen and I have some other choices. You are able to connect an iPhone or an iPad to be able to draw on your whiteboard as opposed to drawing by hand. I think particularly if you're a math teacher and you want to be able to write problems out on the board, this is probably your best bet. Next, I can share my desktop. which is actually my first option. So here's my desktop, and I post a lot of my students, some Google presentations. So I can, similarly to how I do in class, I could either share it with them so they can see it, I could present it and talk them through a presentation real time. So I have what is earth science, and I can click to show them. Their homework on Monday, September 9th was to read and then to do a do now question. Or you can simply record this for your students, like I said. So those are two great ways to apply using Zoom that I recommend. I'm going to click pause screen sharing. So I'm no longer sharing my screen, and then I can stop share to bring it back to your original window. To stop recording, you can also click stop recording at the bottom. When you end your meeting, which I'll show you how to do right now. So I'm signing off of Zoom, end meeting for everyone. And it's prompting me to convert my meeting recording to a file that will save to my computer. This will take some time, but once that happens, it will be saved as a movie file on your desktop. This can then be emailed, posted on Google Drive, or a variety of other options. It just takes some time. So, all in all, I think this is a great way to be using Zoom for recordings. I hope you enjoy.